Well, hey there, yogis and yoga teachers. My name is Crystal Gray. I'm the creator of the Yoga Goddess Academy. If you are watching this on YouTube, please make sure that you hit like and you subscribe so you get notified every time I post a new video, because each week I am here to help you plan your weekly yoga classes, which I know can be very time consuming and it can be very, very stressful. So I am here to help take some of the guesswork and the stress out of what to teach your students each and every week. So the last few weeks we've been doing a series on the chakras, and this week we are all the way up to the third eye chakra. So once you start getting up to these higher chakras, it can be a little bit more tricky to start to figure out what poses to add in. So I'm going to give you some tips and tricks on things that you can add. Also with these higher chakras, I usually focus on more meditation, more chants, a little bit more of a spiritual practice. So if you're teaching at a place where that's not really an option, then you can just kind of take different parts of this and find different ways that you can make it work for your class as well. Okay, because you can still teach about the chakras without your students even knowing that you are. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit about the third eye chakra. In Sanskrit, it's called ajna. Now, some people say it's between the brow. However, I really resonate with it being more here in the center of the forehead. When I kind of get activity here sometimes and feel like this part of my head is, I don't know, it's just being active. And so I've always kind of felt it right here. It's also very connected to the pineal gland, which is kind of like behind the sinuses. So it's kind of like in between here and the base of the skull. So wherever it doesn't have to be exact, but you can focus here or you can focus on the pineal gland. So again, I said it's called ajna chakra, and it has to do with authority, command, or perceive. It governs, that's like kind of what it means. It governs perception, consciousness, and intuition. The deities, now I'm going to try to say this, Ardhana Rishvara, okay, that's combined masculine and feminine forms of Shiva and Shakti, so kind of together. Okay, the color is indigo. The seed sound is Om, or that could be spelled O-M or A-U-M. I usually do my Oms with kind of three sounds, A, O, M, and then silence. And then the element is light and illumination. The third eye is your connection to your higher self. It's like to your spirit, to your higher self. When balanced, it helps you to perceive more of or beyond physical reality. It helps you to see opportunities. It helps you to just see past maybe what's right in front of your face. So it's really, really important. And it helps you to just learn, like get more of that connection to your gut and to your gut instinct. The physical associations are the pituitary gland, face, brain, eyes, nose, sinuses, and hearing. So some of it overlaps a little bit with the throat chakra. I mean, they are very close. Okay. And then I would also add the pineal gland. Signs of imbalance emotionally, it could be trouble connecting to your inner wisdom, not trusting your intuition, not being able to distinguish your intuition from your ego, not being able to see possibilities or opportunities, closed-mindedness, being overly rational, lack of imagination, lack of clarity, overwhelm, judgmental attitude, or OCD. Some physical signs of imbalance could be scattered thinking, inability to focus, headaches, constant mental chatter, hallucinations, brain fog, insomnia, sinus infections, loss of smell, vision issues, hearing problems, and seizures. So kind of a lot. Okay, so some theme options could just be really the opposite of all of the emotional things that I listed, but I'll give you some. So connecting to your higher self, connecting to your intuition, trusting your intuition, the difference between your intuition and your ego, working on your psychic abilities, seeing past illusion, seeing more than meets the eye, and clarity. Affirmations could be, I am connected to my intuition. I am connected to my higher self. I see beyond illusion. I trust my intuition. I am able to perceive. I am open to receiving insight from my higher self. I am open to receiving wisdom from my intuition. I trust my instincts and I trust myself. Now, for some poses, actually, let's get into the mudra first. So the third eye mudra is called the mudra of the great head. So what you're going to do is take your right hand, and you're going to fold in the ring finger. Keep the pinky extended as much as you can. It doesn't really want to extend, but just keep it out. And then bring the tips of the thumb, pointer, and middle finger together. Then you'll kind of open it up, and then you can bring that to your third eye. You could rest your left hand on open on your palm. You could do Gyan Mudra, Mudra of Wisdom. That's the one I like to do. And then you can just kind of fold your arm in and hold there as you breathe, as you meditate. And then whenever your arm gets tired, then you could bring that down. But it really bringing focus here is really important, stimulating this area, just because it starts to, again, bring awareness there, right? So again, the mantra is Om or Aum. The pranayama that I chose for this one is alternate nostril breathing, for a couple of reasons. One, because it really helps to bring the focus into the nose, into the sinuses, kind of everywhere here, okay? And it's very subtle, just like these upper chakras. It's very subtle to connect to this. Another thing that it does is it brings balance to the left and right hemispheres of the brain. And I would say that one side is more creative, yes, but also intuitive. And then the other side is more rational and I would say ego-based. So it's kind of bringing a balance between both sides of the brain. Okay, now whenever you are doing Nadi Shodhana, you can remember that the left side of the nose is associated with the lunar or feminine or calming, cooling. And then the right side is associated more with solar. I look up whenever I'm thinking, with solar, masculine, energizing, heating, stimulating, okay? So like even at night, if you can't fall asleep, maybe you just want to take some breaths in and out just through the left nostril. If you need to wake up, maybe through the right. You could also use that in your classes. You can breathe in and out through the right in the beginning to energize, in and out through the left at the end to calm. Just some ideas. Okay, so some general ideas for this chakra, since again, it can be a little bit more difficult to think of, okay, well, what are all the poses that we can just, put our forehead on something? Well, that can be kind of tricky, right? There's not a ton of them. But what you can do, just like I said in the video for the throat chakra, is say even in downward facing dog, you can focus on the energy coming from the root chakra. I'm saying like up here because here's your hips, and bringing that energy up or down, technically, towards your third eye chakra, okay? So you can always kind of bring that in so that they're always focusing on that. And then bring in the affirmation again every once in a while just to really connect the flow, the asana, to your intention. Now, some pose ideas could be child's pose. That's a really easy one to place the forehead on the ground or stack the fists or get a block, whatever you can to get the forehead on something. Crocodile pose where you're laying on your belly. You've got your forearms like this, forehead down. Okay, downward facing dog with the idea of drawing that energy towards the third eye. Really, well, any sort of standing forward fold, again, drawing that energy from the root, the grounded energy from the root up. Okay, and also then seated forward folds. So you could do, legs out in a Upavishta Konasana. A lot of times people can't bring their forehead onto something depending on the level. So you could have a chair, go like this, come here, even a chair like this, or elbows on blocks or forearms on blocks like that, or they could go all the way down, which most people won't. Okay, some other things, forearm stand, again, focusing on that energy. Dolphin, same thing. Headstand, same thing. Headstand prep and handstand. I never teach headstand personally just because most of my students aren't really ready for that, and I teach a lot online, so it's not really something I feel comfortable teaching a lot online. Handstand, remember, comes before headstand. If you can't hold a handstand at the wall, I wouldn't be doing headstand yet. I know it seems like it would be the other way, but it's really not. You need to have that strength. Okay, so some visualization ideas could be an indigo light in the third eye area, focusing on wherever you resonate, wherever you connect with the pineal gland, and maybe even healing the pineal gland, decalcifying the pineal gland, right? Seeing yourself being able to listen to your intuition and higher self, like going through just having them visualize their best life where they're really being authentic, they're speaking their truth, they're living their truth, things like that, speaking in kind ways. And then the chant that I chose for this one is Om Namah Shivaya. It means I bow to Shiva. So Shiva is one of the 3 main Hindu deities. You might not tell people that. Again, it depends on your class. But in your yoga practice, we use this mantra to help connect us to our true inner self. This self is part of us that's wise and intuitive. So that's why I chose that one. Again, it's Om Namah Shivaya. So I really like the version by Krishna Das. You can kind of use whatever little, ditty, however you like to sing it. But I really like it, his version of it. All right, so if you want more information on that, I've got a 20-minute personal practice to help you connect to your intuition for your personal practice. And then I've done a 60-minute practice that the affirmation for that one is I trust my intuition. So remember that 60-minute practice is one that you've got the PDF for it. You can print it out. You can take it and teach it. That stuff is all over on my membership site. It's the Crystal Gray Yoga Method, and you get a free 7-day trial. So, you really have nothing to lose, just to see if you like it and to see if it would really help you in your weekly class planning sessions, because you don't really have to do anything. You just print it out, you take it, see what works for you. You can modify it as needed. But in those 60-minute practices, I do really talk about how to modify for different levels. And then we do have different levels of practices, some different styles. Most are vinyasa, some are a little bit more hatha based. So yeah, I'd love to have you try it. Don't forget, please, to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and let me know in the comments if you have worked with a third eye ever in your classes, and maybe if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you, yoga teachers, for everything that you do out in the world. It's needed now more than ever. So I hope that I can help you shine your light. Have a great day. Namaste.